Hi there. In this video I'm going to take you through the steps to turn a mahogany neck blank like this one into a semi-finished acoustic guitar neck like this one. It's going to have an angled headstock made with a scarf joint. It'll have a stacked heel and a truss rod slot. There's a lot more to making a neck obviously, but we'll cover that in future videos. In this video we're going to also be using some of the templates from Guitar Templates and some of the router bits that we have available. So let's get started. First, let's take a look at our neck blank. It obviously needs to be made from a suitable timber, and there's plenty of those available. This one happens to be mahogany. Queensland maple works great, silver quandong, blackwood, obviously maple, whole range of timbers. It needs to be straight grained. It doesn't have to be quarter sawn. I know a lot of people like to make work with quarter sawn timber, and obviously that's an ideal situation. However, there are many guitar necks out there today that are anything but quarter sawn. What's important is that it is of sufficient dimension. So what does that mean? Well, we need to have enough width to accommodate the width of our headstock. That'll be the widest part of our neck. So as long as the headstock can be accommodated in the width, we've got enough. Typically 80 to 90 millimeters is more than enough. It needs to be long enough, and the length needs to accommodate the length of the headstock. Typically we need around about 180 to 200 millimeters for that. And then we need to have the shaft area of the neck and enough to get us inside the body of the guitar by about 25 to 30 millimeters. And finally, if we're making it with a single mahogany neck like this one, we need to have enough left over to create the stacked heel. And for that we typically need maybe 250 to 300 millimeters. So all up, a neck blank, single neck blank that is around 850 to 860 millimeters long, 80 or 90 millimeters wide. And in terms of thickness, I'd say the minimum you need, absolute minimum, is 20 millimeters. 22 is a good number. And we have some that are not finished, or dressed I should say, and these ones run around 25 millimeters thick. So there's plenty of wood there that they can be dressed down and still end up around 22 millimeters thick. Before we start doing any cutting, it's important that the neck blank is square. So we want to have a flat top surface, a square edge, and a square back surface. I won't go through the process of squaring up a neck blank. There are many options. You can use a hand plane, that works. You can use a drum sander if you've got one, or indeed a jointer and thicknesser, which is probably the ideal way to do it. But once we have our neck blank, then it's time to start measuring and cutting.